Hey everybody, Greg here. Today is Friday, November 16th. It's starting to get a little chill in the air. It's about, it's in the mid-30s today. And I looked out on the porch this morning and saw some really nice, kind of uniform with some variation, red leaves that fell from the tree here. And I thought, you know, that would make a nice kind of pattern for some kind of fall, you know, happy fall poster or something. So anyway, I got out the camera and took a few shots. I just wanted to show you this as an example of kind of, you know, some photography can take you 1,000 miles away from home, but there's other stuff that's just like right outside your door that you might not usually notice. And something I've also started doing recently with my photography is taking some blurry shots, blurred beyond sort of what you can recognize is the subject of the photo. And in these, I think you'll see it looks like maybe it's a flower or something. It's hard to tell exactly what it is without having that crisp shot there to show you the details. So one thing I wanted to show you in this video is an example comparing different settings in the Canon 6D. Other cameras have this as well. There is sort of the normal saturation level, also something called vivid, and then another that the Canon has is called intense. Depending on the photo you're taking, if it's kind of a washed out day or the subject of your photo is kind of not quite as saturated as you'd want it to be, you can use these settings to compensate. If you're already, you know, traveling in Greenland and the lighting's amazing and everything's just, the colors are popping anyway, well then if you use these features it's going to look unnatural. But you know, often in the fall and winter it seems like colors are muted. So particularly this example that I'm going to show you of these leaves, the natural saturation is pretty muted because these leaves are dry. They're sort of kind of a mix between gray and their bright red natural color, what they would have been on the tree maybe a few weeks ago or a month ago. So anyway, you'll see that difference here where we have kind of the natural but sort of muted looking colors. Vivid pops it out a little bit more, and the intense setting may be too intense, might be, you know, making it look a little unnatural. And you can decide. So I'm going to show you these here. So the first one is the natural setting, and you can see with the leaves here it is looking like kind of late in the season color of leaves. And then I'm going to switch over to vivid, which gives it a little bit more of a pop. And you know, by comparison, like if you were to think about music, if you are listening to a song and then you get an equalizer and you start boosting the treble and boosting the bass, and you can kind of tweak that song so it has a little bit more vibrancy. Well, that's what this is doing, Vivid is doing to a picture. It kind of brings those colors out a little bit more so they stand out for your eye to see. And then finally, this last example is on the intense setting. You'll notice also it's almost as if the brightness comes down a little bit and the colors are a lot more not just vivid but intense. And you know, as I say, if you have an object, something you're taking a picture of that's already colorful, balloons or a, you know, carnival or whatever, it's just going to be too much. It's going to look almost like high dynamic range, or it looks like somebody took it into some software and oversaturated it. So you want to use that intense one selectively, but vivid's nice. And I've also, just to kind of add into this, noticed that if I take a photo using the vivid setting and I back down the exposure a bit so it's a little bit darker, then I can do a lot more repairing and adjusting later on in the software than if I try to set the lighting just perfect at the time of the shot and then, you know, maybe do adjusting later, because there are going to be some things that are washed out. So anyway, you can, you know, experiment with your own camera trying that technique. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for all the positive comments and feedback and people that are getting my newsletters. If you're wanting more information, you can go to aboutgregjohnson.com or resourcesforlife.com. greg.johnson.com. That's sort of the business site. The aboutgregjohnson.com is my personal site. And you can sign up there to get updates whenever I post something on the site. What mostly seems to be appealing to people are the photos. So I've been kind of focusing on that more than music or writing or other things. But I do occasionally compose a song and put it out there. So, all right, enough rambling for now. And have a great day.